Hello, I'm Michael Boyajian, and I'm going to be talking about my new book, Roman Armenia. We had actually put this book out a few years ago and were rewriting it recently. And it got to be to such an extent that we decided, instead of putting it out as a new edition, that it should be put out as a new title. That's how much it was rewritten. And it was basically two areas that were focused on in the rewrite. One, it was the genetic science section, the DNA of Armenians, interaction with Romans, completely obsolete from just a few years ago, completely based on Ancestry.com, updated science, and books like Origin by Dr. Ralph, of Kansas City University. And, that was completely thrown out and rewritten. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing was our premise, which was that Armenian, the homeland, where 3 million people live, there's also the total is of Armenians in the world, if you count the diaspora, is about 8 to 10 million. But anyhow, there's just 3 million in Armenia. And our premise, which was based on Armenia surviving interaction with the Roman Empire for 500 years. That foreign policy they had in place then allowed them to survive the Roman Empire for 500 years. Most of the countries who interacted with the Roman Empire at that time were wiped out, absorbed, or completely gone. The Armenians are one of the few ancient peoples left after the rise of the Roman Empire. And again, there's no denying it, the Roman Empire, outside probably the United States of America, was the greatest warrior nation in the history of the human race. But somehow the Armenians, beginning with Tigranes the Great, formulated a foreign policy, which, we talk today of how the United States and the West had a foreign policy that lasted for 70 years against the Soviet Empire until it collapsed. Well, here it is. This foreign policy of the Armenians lasted 500 years and beyond. The premise was to deny the Turkish claim, which is obsolete now anyhow after President Joe Biden acknowledged the genocide, that the Armenians would have provoked such a massacre of 1.5 million people. It just was not in our DNA, pardon the word, foreign policy-wise. And again, the premise was proved right last year in 2021 in the war with Azerbaijan and Turkey, where Armenia was completely caught off guard by those forces because of the use of the though rudimentary, very effective Turkish drones. Yes, there's no denying it. They're very good drones. They're only one-time use, but they stopped the Russian war machine in Ukraine. They'll hover over a tank and explode, destroy itself and the tank. And again, compared to the cost of a tank, the drone is pennies against millions of dollars for the tank. So they stopped the entire Russian war machine with these drones, and of course, supplemented by advanced Western weaponry. But again, the Prime Minister of Armenia had an option. Did he follow the demands of the diaspora outside of Armenia, and who are sitting by their pools, drinking cocktails, and proclaiming that Armenians should fight to the death in the homeland and lose everything? Let's face it, there's only 3 million people in the homeland, and altogether in the world, there's only 8 million Armenians. So even if every diaspora Armenian got in a plane and went to Armenia, we'd still be outnumbered by the number of adversaries that we face in Azerbaijan and Turkey, which total population, I'm not talking about militaries, but the total people population, it's over 60 million people. Against what, 3 to 8 million? Not good odds. And again, the only reason we were in trouble was because of the drones. So the Prime Minister did the right thing. He just said no to the diaspora, and he did the right thing, and he came to an agreement, whereas it was a zero-sum exchange of a territory that had been taken in the earlier conflict with those nations. And again, the conflict is still ongoing. Don't get me wrong. So you never know. We might get that territory back. And, you know, who knows what lies ahead in the area of drone warfare. But anyhow, he did the right thing. And you know what? It's a democracy, Armenia, and he's still in power. So, yes, the people were happy with what he did. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the new book. The title of the new book is Roman Armenia, Precedent to Survival. Okay, and it's available today, hardcover, paperback, and Kindle. And that's Roman Armenia, Precedent to Survival. Thank you and have a nice day.